snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I have not been here for the last week, and that is because I have been home. I have been with my boyfriend, we've been celebrating our anniversary, and I've been very busy. I went up to my dad's for a couple days as well. So I basically just haven't had the time to film any videos, but that is about to change. I'm going to spend most of today filming videos, and then you'll probably see them uploaded in the next few days and weeks. So if I'm in the same outfit, please forgive me, but that's why. I have so many great ideas that I want to do for videos right now. I have cover chats that I want to do, so there will be some cover chats coming up. Also, I am definitely planning to do a few tag videos. I have one that I've been tagged in. Also, last night I had a massive rearrange of my bookshelves and got rid of about 150 books that I was just either never going to read or had on my shelf but didn't really care to keep because it's from when I was really young, or it was just a book that I didn't want anymore. So I got rid of loads of books, and I'm so happy with my new bookshelves, looking fantastic, displaying all my favourite books, and any book that you ever see on these two bookshelves behind me is definitely one I would recommend to you guys, because I have chucked out all of the books that I was not a fan of or that were not like at least 4 or 5 star reads for me. So these are all fantastic, so I would recommend them all. The reason that I am here in this video after this long rambly intro, I'm very sorry, is because I have a book haul for you guys. I've actually picked up quite a few books in the last couple weeks that I haven't managed to haul yet, so I'm just going to tell you guys what they are. So the first book that I ended up picking up was The Iron Jackal, which is by Chris Wooding. This is the third book in the Ketty J series, and I have been wanting this book for ages. I'm planning to read the whole series. I'm currently reading it one book per month with Mercedes, whose channel I will link down below for you guys to check out. And we're both really enjoying this. I am 10% of the way through this. I actually ordered this and got the complete wrong book, so I had to get onto them and be like, hey, can you please send me the right one? And luckily they did, and it's in perfect condition, so the seller was really nice, which was great. But I am really happy with this series so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's about a crew of kind of steampunk-ish diesel punk pirates. It's very similar to the show Firefly, if you've ever watched that, and there's definite resonance with that series, which I'm really enjoying. I've watched the first couple episodes of Firefly and really loved it, and I am reading the series parallel. They're not the same characters at all, but there's definite influences from Firefly on this series, and if you like that, I would definitely say you will like this series. Plus, I've given all of them 5 stars so far. There are 4 in the series, this one's the third, so I gave the first 2 5 stars, and I'm really excited to continue on with this series and see how it goes on. And then the final book next month, which is going to be crazy, but I'm super excited. So, first book, The Iron Jackal by Chris Wooding. Then I ended up going to the charity shop nearby where I live at home. The charity shop near where I live is actually a bookshop, which is amazing, so it only sells books, so there's a lot of choice. The fantasy section is quite small, but they usually have a few little gems, and when I went in they definitely did. So I ended up picking up 4 books from there. The first one of those is actually not a fantasy book, it's actually historical fiction, which is something I don't tend to read a lot of, but I picked this up because it's by Christian Cameron, and Christian Cameron is actually the same author as Miles Cameron, who wrote The Red Knight, which I recently read and loved. So I wanted to check out some of his historical fiction stuff because I know he is a really good writer, and it's not actually too long, so I'm definitely intrigued into his historical stuff because I know that's where he started out, and fantasy is kind of a new venture for him in the last couple of years. So I'm really intrigued to get to this at some point. I do have to be in the mood for historical books, but I definitely think it's something I look forward to because I know that the author is really good. So that is definitely something I will be getting to maybe over the summer, because summer is when I tend to stray out of fantasy a little bit more. Winter is much more, I just read fantasy and that's about it. Then I found these 2 books in the charity shop also. These are the second and third in the Temeraire series by Naomi Novik. I don't really know how you say it. Temeraire, I think. I'm not sure. Basically, it's a series by Naomi Novik. I believe there are 9 books in the series. I already have the first one, and this is the second, which is Throne of Jade, and the third one is Black Powder War. I love these covers. I think they are stunning. They definitely remind me of Japanese woodblocks or etchings. I'm super looking forward to getting into this series because I actually watched an interview with Naomi Novik very recently talking about the series, and it just piqued my interest so much, so I definitely want to bump this up my TBR. So when I saw these 2 books, I couldn't resist picking them up, and I will definitely be getting to them at some point soon. Plus they're in perfect condition, so excellent. And then the final book that I ended up getting from the charity shop is The Blood King, which is the second one in the Chronicles of the Necromancer series. This is by Gail Z. Martin. I already own the first book, which is The Summoner, and I think they look really, really good together on the shelf. They're tiny little mass markets. Both of them are in perfect condition, and I got them both secondhand, I think. Definitely excited about getting to these soon. I've heard a lot of good things about this series. I don't really know the premise so much, but I think it's to do with like necromancy, obviously, and that sounds really, really cool because that is something I've not read a lot of and I'm definitely intrigued about. So these two should be great to get to at some point soon. I'm definitely going to try and get to them this year, now that I've cut down my TBR significantly with my unhauling. Hopefully I'll be able to get to a lot more of the books that I show you guys more quickly, but we'll see if that happens. But I'm definitely excited about these two books, so that's that. Then I ended up going to the library and I got a couple of books from the library, which I'm not going to show you guys because they're obviously not mine. I only got a few. I did post them on Twitter if you want to go and look on there. One of those books was Kinslayer by J. Kristoff, which is the second one in the Lotus War series. I already owned Storm Dancer by J. Kristoff and I adore the cover of this book. I think it is so stunning. And I ended up giving this one a 4.5 when I read it, and I totally forgot that I'd read it. It's a series that is amazing. It's full of steampunk elements. It's full of mythical creatures who are really, really focal and key parts of the plot, and that's great. There's some kick-ass characters. There's some great moments that happen within the book, a lot of brutality and all sorts of things go on. When I did read this a while back, I gave it 4.5 stars, and I think I did a review on my channel as well, so you can probably find that. But I totally forgot I'd read this. It slipped my mind. And so when I saw Kinslayer, which is the second one in the library, I had to pick it up to kind of refresh myself and see if I enjoyed it and everything, because I wasn't sure. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So I went straight out and I bought myself a copy. They look fantastic. Both of these covers are so beautiful. I love them both so much. The Kinslayer cover is a little bit more blue. The first one's a bit more purple. They are just stunning. This book is one I've already read. I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I would highly recommend this series. I will be doing a full review of this book and the final book. Basically, I'm just obsessed with this series right now, and J. Kristoff is amazing as a writer. Picked up Endsinger, which is the third and final one in the series, and I'm currently listening to it on audiobook because I can't seem to find the hardback in the UK anywhere at the moment. It's all really expensive because J. Kristoff is Australian, so I'm guessing it has to be imported from Australia, which is quite pricey. So I'm waiting for the opportunity to buy it a little bit cheaper, but I got it on Audible because I have an Audible membership and I had a credit. So I got the third and final one on there, and I'm listening to it at the moment. I'm about 40% of the way through and I'm loving it so much. It's such a good series. Cannot wait to finish it up. I also bought on my Kindle The Last Storm Dancer, which is again by J. Kristoff. It's basically a kind of prequel. It's from the point of view of one of the Arashitoras, who are basically thunder tigers, and they are some of the mythical creatures within the book. People have tried to achieve what happened in Storm Dancer before without giving anything away. So it kind of is a little short story about what happened before all of this began. Basically, I have purchased all of J. Kristoff's Lotus War books and I'm super excited about them all. I will definitely be buying the hardback when I can get it of Endsinger, and I'm super enjoying these books, so I would highly recommend them. If you've never heard of them, definitely go and look them up because they are amazing. There's a lot of great authors who have said that they are wonderful. Patrick Rothfuss and Scott Westerfeld as well have both got little things on the back of Kinslayer saying that they are really intrigued. Essentially, it's Japanese steampunk in feudal Japan, which is crazy cool with magical beasts, and yeah, it's just awesome stuff. So I would highly recommend this series. It's more adult than YA. There is a little bit of romance in the first book, but things don't really go the way that you think they will go. So it's not heavily dependent on the romance at all, which is good. Overall, I am loving the series. I would highly recommend it, and I would love to hear if any of you guys have read it. Now, moving on with the rest of the books in this book haul. Most of these are on my Kindle, and the first of those being Perfect Slate, which is the new novella by Brandon Sanderson. It was only released a couple of days ago. Apparently it's quite different to a lot of the stuff he has written before, so I'm very intrigued, but I don't know anything about it. I just heard about it, saw it was like £2 on Amazon, and bought it straight away. So really intrigued about it, don't know a lot about it, but it's Brandon Sanderson. usually that means that it's going to be great. So I'm very much looking forward to picking it up some point soon. I don't know if I'll get to it this month, but I will definitely be trying to slot it in sometime very, very soon. It's not a Cosmere book, so if you're doing Year of Cosmere, you don't need to read it, but it is just a book he's released out of the blue, as always, being awesome, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Next, I have Ascension, which is the first book in the Trismoon series by Brian K. Fuller. I've heard good things about this recently from some of the people in my Goodreads group. When I found it for 99p on Kindle, I couldn't really resist, and I ended up picking it up. But again, it is one that I really don't know anything about. Feel free to leave me some comments telling me why you like it or whatever, because I would be highly intrigued, and I don't know a lot about it, so at the moment it's not high on my priorities, but it's definitely something I'm interested in. But maybe you guys can convince me otherwise, who knows. Then I have Dying Star by Samson Loeb. This is a book that one of my subscribers recommended to me in the comments a few videos ago. The premise sounded very intriguing when I looked it up on Amazon, so again, this one is one I got on my Kindle for very, very cheap. Definitely intrigued, but I don't know anything about it. Seems to be a theme with my Kindle books. I do tend to buy Kindle books without doing a lot of research, but I really, really am looking forward to it because always new authors are great to explore. Then I picked up the last two in the Parasol Protectorate series, which is by Gail Carriger. The fourth one is called Heartless, and the fifth one is called Timeless. I will be reading Heartless sometime this month, probably nearer to the middle of the month, and I'm very much looking forward to it because I am loving this series so, so much. I have all of them on my Kindle, but I got the first one in physical as well, and I do plan to probably pick up all of them in physical edition whenever I can find them kind of cheap, because I love the way that the colours pop, and I'm just very excited about this series because I'm loving it and I cannot wait to finish it up, see how it all ends, and also move on to all of Gail Carriger's other works as well, because I know she's got a lot of other series and I definitely want to read them all. Then I picked up The Viscount and the Witch, which is by Michael J. Sullivan. This is a short story. It's supposed to be read after the first of the Rearia Chronicles books, which is The Crown Tower. I just finished up reading The Crown Tower and I really loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Really cannot wait to review this one for you guys. So I'm probably going to review this one and The Viscount and the Witch together if I get time to read that one as well, because it's quite a short one. It is a short story, so should be pretty easy to get through. And then the final one that I picked up recently is actually on my Audible account, so it's an audiobook. That is The Complete Sherlock Holmes, The Heirloom Collection by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I've never read any of the Sherlock Holmes books, but I do love the Sherlock TV show, and I think it's just something that would be a lot of fun to listen to. So I got this really, really cheap. I got it with one of my credits, which works out at like £10–15, something like that. So definitely worth getting because it's like 58 hours long. It's huge. It's gonna last me a while. I don't know how often I'm going to be listening to them, but I'm really excited to give it a go. Cannot wait to try some of them out and discover why everyone loves Sherlock Holmes the books, because I'm sure that they are great in their own right, and I cannot wait to get to that at some point soon. So that is all. Those are all of the books that I've recently picked up. I'm also planning to pick up The Skull Throne very, very soon. It comes out on the 9th. I cannot wait. I have pre-ordered it. I've got it ordered into my Waterstones, so I'm just waiting for them to send me the text and be like, it's here, and then I'm going to go and get it. So I'm so, so excited. As soon as that comes in, everything else is going to be put on hold and I'm going to read that straight away. I don't have it just yet, even though it's out in the US, it's not out here, so I am waiting patiently for that to come out and I cannot wait, but I will be picking that one up very, very soon. And of course, if I do any more book buying in the next couple weeks, you will see another book haul, because now that I've unhauled my shelves, they feel so airy and free and like they need more books to fill them up again. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there are any books that you know anything about, then definitely leave me comments, good or bad, whatever you think, and I would definitely love to hear your thoughts on them all. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat.